Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. We are model building again. And this is the kit that I have decided to kind of break back into model building. I've been a model builder for many years. I took about 10 years off. I just kind of got burned out. And I've decided to build this beautiful AMT 2-in-1 55 Chevy. And I'm building this as a street rod, and I'm building this as I would build it if it was for me. So this is going to be this is I guess episode number 1. There's going to be many because it takes me quite a while to build these. It takes me about 6 to 8 months to build these because I do all sorts of things to them, and I don't wrench on them every single day. But anyways, let's get to it, and I'll show you what I'm going to do, because I'm going to tub this thing out. I'm going to put different spindles on the front end and just kind of make it my own. So let's go have a look at this guy. Okay, so here's where we are on the 55. Because I want to put the bigger tires underneath, I'm going to have to do some cutting. So you can kind of see where I've already cut with one of the flat saws here. I've kind of cut through, and where I've got the marks is where I have put the bigger tires, and I know I'll get some clearance. So pretty much this whole piece has to come out. But what I want to do is I want to save these tubs. I don't want to take them out, so I'm going to take that off in through here, and then I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little rail right there, frame rail. I'm going to cut that out because I want to re-put that back in. Oopsie, and I want to put it back in. I kind of want to put it in here somewhere. So I'm probably going to remove this gas tank and the spare tire holder as well. So that's just part of customizing a Pro Street. The rear end is going to get the most amount of attention on this. Once I've got that done, the rest of the car probably will be a stock setup, because I just need to put the big tires underneath, which means I'm going to have to tub the rear end in the whole bit. So, and now here's the situation with this. You can go as crazy as you want to, or you can go as little as you want to, because unless it's a show car you're going to be putting it in a contest, no one's ever really going to look underneath it. So you don't have to really go to extremes. I like doing this because I enjoy cutting the plastic and making changes. So anyways, let's move on and get this cut and see what that all looks like. So there we have it. We have the frame now cut out. And now I'm basically rebuilding the back end. I've taken the pieces that I need out of it, and we're going to end up putting it all back in here. But I wanted to keep these tubs in, because that is going to be the, I guess, the center line for my tires, and that's kind of what it looks like there. So a little bit of cutting, always the fun part as far as I'm concerned. I enjoy doing that. So that's where we're at right now. So I'm working on basically the insert to put the frame rails back in. These two frame rails that were molded in, I have cut out from here, and I'm now putting them on the insert that I'm going to put in here. We're going to have to do some styrene work in there once we get that all done, but I'll show you what that insert looks like when I have it done. Here's where we're going to leave it today, guys. You can see the part that's been cut out here. I've already showed that to you. Now I took that piece and I then cut it down again. I cut out about a 1/4 of an inch each side, and I cut out the rails that used to come up through here, and I've put them back on here and glued them all in. Now it looks a little junky right now, but I'll be putting some fill and stuff in there. And like I say, this you can go as crazy as you want or as little as you want on this. If you're going to be doing an IPMS show, then you've got to cut all this out, smooth it all down, blah blah blah. I'll be adding in some styrene here. That's where we're going to leave it today. Next time we get together, I will have, I'm going to end up putting this piece will go back into here, and then we'll finish the tub and get that all done, and then make it all nice and secure, and then we'll continue to move on. The rest of the chassis is going to stay exactly as it is. I've been sanding it down. There's an extraordinary amount of flash on this thing, but that's as far as we're going to go with the 55 today. So we'll catch you on the next one. Area 51 saying we'll catch you on the next one. Hey everybody. Bye. Welcome back to the progress on the 55. So what I've done, you can see I've shortened it down and I've put it in here. I got the frame rails in, I got my other set of rails in, but let's keep whacking the camera, sorry. I kept these wheel wells in, but I'm going to have to remove them because they're going to stifle what I want to do. I'm going to fill all this in, etc. So just, it's been a while since I've hacked up a car, so I'm kind of enjoying it, just taking my time. This will all be filled in and everything else like that, and I just kind of ran these two over here to make it look like the frame had been. You can see the original frame rails are right there. So we are here. Let me show you what it looks like. So now we can set a big set of tires in there, like so. So it kind of looks like that. So but those frame rails are going to screw me up a little bit, so they got to go, or the tub. So, and I got to make tubs for it anyways. So anyway, I'm going to cut these two pieces out and then work on the rear end, or see if I've got another one that's close. I'm going to have to cut this down fairly quite a bit amount, you know, in order for this to all fit under here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that out and then work on this rear end. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. I haven't been really keeping you updated on the 55, the progress of the frame and everything. You can kind of see that I'm fairly complete on the frame. I have got the wheels on it. I've got the, you can clearly see here, I've tubbed it. I put a different gas tank in. I redid the rear end. I put a Ford 9-inch in and got that all in, got the wheels on. I redid the front end, made it so it sits lower. So that's pretty much all done. Now I'm working on the engine. I've got the body primed up, and I will do some shots and whatnot of this this car with a little bit of screwing around with it. But that's where we are right now. Now we move into the engine phase. And basically the way I'm building this 55 is I'm building this 55 as if it were going to be a car for me. How I would drive it on the street today. And the way I would like it to be for me. So I wouldn't want a ton of power in it, but it's going to have a small block 350 in it, and I think I'm going to put a set of Hilborn injectors on it, and of course, you know, paint it all up and flock the seats, etc. So that's where we are right now. I know it's been a while. I should have shown you a little bit more progress pictures, but I just didn't get to it. Let me just change this around here so you can see the front end. Front end is all kind of done from this side here. So we move on to other things, and you know, this took about 3 or 4 weeks to get this this back end all done, and I think it came out really super nice. It's the first time I've tubbed a car out in a long time. Now you're saying, well, you haven't tubbed it, you haven't finished it with the I'm not going to tub it because the trunk doesn't open, and you're never going to see it, so it's just a waste of time. And even if you saw it from the bottom, with the way the wheels fill up the wells, you wouldn't even be able to see it. I also left it with front steering, the front wheels move, and I kind of like that part. So anyways, that's it for the 55 to this point. I've got the body primed up, and I'm going to start working on the engine. And as I get further in the engine, I'll show it to you and probably take some pictures and whatnot. So that's where we are on the 55. So here we are on the progress of the 55 Chevy. This is the 55 Chevy Bel Air sedan by AMT. This is the 2-in-1. I've kind of moved ahead quite rapidly on certain things, and I know I haven't shown you a lot of the progress on the way, but I thought I'd show you up to where we are right now. Basically, I've got it in as a rolling chassis, and I am starting to work on the motor. You'll notice on the hood, well, hold on a second, I'll open it up, and so you'll notice there's no engine or anything in it, there's no interior, none of that. That's just starting now. You'll notice I have the hole cut in the hood. I'm going to be putting a set of Hilborn injectors on this because I just kind of like it. I'm building this the way that I would build it if it was my own. You'll notice that I've got the fuel filter hanging out of the back of the tank. That's kind of the way I used to build my cars when I built full cars, and I'm kind of building this my way. The tub came out pretty good. I think it looks pretty neat. She's all primered up and sanded. So now I will move on to getting the interior done and deciding what color to paint this. I'm not really sure what color I'm going to paint this yet. I've got a couple of ideas running through my mind. But anyways, I'm going to end this build project at this point and continue on. And then I will update you on the motor installation, the interior. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the 55 build, and today I am showing you what we've got going on with the motor. The motor that I'm building was the one that was in the box, so it's going to be a box stock motor. I'm sure this is based after a 350 or something like that. It's a small block. So I've gone ahead and I've painted it Chevy engine red. I've got the valve covers on it, and you can see right here I've got the intake. I'm going to run a Hilborn injector. There's the injectors down there. I'm going to run the belts There's the starter and the alternator right there. I'm going to run an electric fan. I ground off the, right here should have been the manual fuel pump. I ground that off because if this was my car, I would be running this with a electric fuel pump. It's just the way I'd be running it. So basically what's going to happen here is I've basically got the oil pan on the water pump. And you know, if this was a racing machine, I would have gone with a electric water pump, but we'll go with this one. So basically stock configuration, and I'm going to put the injector together. I'm debating on the injector stacks here whether I should paint those. I got to, you know, I like the look of chrome, but maybe I think I might put some translucent purple on there and just give it a little bit of a purple look with a chrome background. I don't know, just to give it that look. We'll see. But that's what we're working on. This is as far as I've got on the engine. Thought I would give you a shot of that. Going to be working on the interior as well here soon. So the car's coming together pretty quickly. So yeah, I will work some more on the engine, and then I will show you my progress as we move along. Just a quick update on where we are. I've kind of not done one in a while. I've primered and, well, you saw the body and primer, and now I've given it a base coat. I've given it 2 base coats of silver, and I kind of like doing the silver base coat because I'm going to be doing this red with a white roof. So I will be laying down the red over the next couple of days. I've got it taped off here because I want to leave kind of the aluminum look in the firewall. I don't want to get that too red. We've got the mounted motor there. I don't know if you can see in there. We got the mounted motor in. I got a little scene going on, and then of course I do have the interior there painted gray. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but we're going to start painting this guy. This is going to be a bit of a paint job. Sorry, my shadow's in the way here. It's going to be a bit of a paint job, and then just reclaim this one. This had been forgotten and in a million pieces, and I just put this. This is a Jordan F190, I think, one of my favorite cars. And I found some figures and I've put them in. So anyways, moving along with my little diorama things, having some fun with that. And we are going to be moving into paint. And the paint job will take a little while because what I traditionally like to do is paint, then give it about 4 or 5 days, sand it and paint it again. And then we'll be marrying everything together with the interior and all the rest, that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at, guys. Update up to now. June 1st today, so that's where we are right now. So on it I go. I'll show you what it looks like after I've got it all painted red. We are going to go with this gloss red. The tester's not exactly my favorite paint, but it is what it is. Got the 55 with the couple coats of silver base just to make that red pop a little bit, and the hood. Little secret here, before you paint, take a glass of hot water, not like boiling hot but warm, and stick the paint can in it for about 4 or 5 minutes. Because warm paint flows better and it bonds better. So I've learned that over the years. So we're going to get our first coat of paint. So there we go. Always go with a very light first coat, just, you know, sparingly. What you're doing here is you're setting up a thing called binders, and when the paint starts to dry, it actually gets sticky. So you give this thing it's called flash time. You give it a flash of about 4 or 5 minutes, and then you put on another coat, and then you just keep doing the same thing until you get where you want to be. And you'll find that you're able to lay down heavier coats with no runs. And there's nothing worse, and there she is soaking in there, and there's nothing worse than getting a beautiful paint job and then all of a sudden having a heavy spot. So that is the first run. We'll give it about 5 minutes and then we'll hit it again. There she is, finished paint job. Took me about 30 minutes for my first one. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, there might be some issues. I'm going to put a cover over it now, and I'm going to let it sit out here for about 4 or 5 days. I'm not going to touch it for 4 or 5 days. And let it really dry out and gloss up. I'm thinking of doing two-tone. I don't know. I was thinking with a white roof, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks like. I know it's pretty basic, but that's the way I cure my paint jobs. I leave them in I cover it so nothing gets to them, and then I just let them sit in a fairly warm area for about 4 or 5 days. Very basic. It's just one of those plastic bins with turned upside down. But I mean, I could put some vents in the top, but there's no reason to. That's kind of the way I do it. So a cheap little drying chamber, and it keeps all the dirt off of it, because this is going to be very sticky for about 2 days. And so this is what I do, just keep it off. Hey everybody, it's been a little bit since I've updated you on the 55. I've got it painted. This is my kind of, don't look too hard, it's my first paint job in 10 years. I like it. I'm debating whether I'm going to go to two-tone white on this. I'm not 100% sure. The interior's getting done. Again, don't look too hard. My hand's a little shaky, but I'm continuing to work on it. Got the dash kind of done and the black floor mats, etc. Usually I would flock this, but I'm completely out of flock. I have none, so that's where we are right now. One thing in this kit, all the glass is missing, so I got to try and find some glass for this 55 or make my own. But that's where we are right now. I'm going to continue to work on it. We're getting close to final construction on it, so I will update you a little bit more when I have it. Here we are back again with a little bit more progress on the 55. I'm very close to completion. As you can see, I got the bare metal foil done. I had some issues with the bare metal foil. It was old bare metal foil that had gone through a couple seasons in a non-temperature zone area. Long story short, it was brittle, it was hard to use, and it kind of pulled the paint when I pulled it off, so I had to do some touch-ups. I've got the interior just sitting in there. I haven't glued it in, but the interior will go in. One of the big problems with this AMT kit was it came with no glass. And there's nothing worse than picking up a kit, putting it together, and getting to this point and there's no glass. So I had to use the glass out of a 56. It doesn't fit as well, so I have had a few problems with this unit, but I mean, I'm getting closer to completion. So basically, I'm going to, the next time you see this car, it will be complete. So this is as far as we'll take it on the build. I think we're about, 2 months into this build, 2-3 months. And I just wanted to do a quick build and have, kind of get my feet wet. And it's been a bit of a learning experience because I've totally forgotten how things kind of snowball when things don't work right. And I have to be honest with you, this AMT kit was put together terribly. The fitment is bad, things are off. I don't know what happened here. AMT used to be a really, really good model company, but boy, this kit did not go together well. Anyway, the next time you see it, it will be done. So I will unveil it right about, ta-da! There she is, the finished 55, pretty much all the way done. I'll be honest with you, this is one of the harder kits that I had to build, not in the fact that it was difficult to build, the fact that it was really warped. I do have a couple of issues. If you do look on the passenger side, the dash is really warped. You can kind of see it sitting above the line. I'm going to have to try and fix that somehow. I'm not sure if this kit was stored beside a vent or something, but it was really warped. I had a lot of warpage that I had to try and fix here, and some of it I fixed as best I could, but I think it came out pretty nice. I do like the fact that it's the first time I've narrowed a rear end in quite a while. I love the injectors on it, and I went for a very sedate street look. Cut the hood out, went with a very basic interior, nothing too fantastic. I didn't wire the engine, just wanted to get my feet wet back into this again. I'll give you a couple of shots of it in the garage, just to give you a couple of shots, but I really enjoyed building this, and the bare metal foil came out good. It was old bare metal foil, so I had a little bit of a little bit of issue with the bare metal foil, but I'll have to pick up some new stuff. But as far as a 55 that I'd like to drive, this is it for me. What I would really like to do, well, I will add to this, is the brake master cylinder. I've got one. I'm painting it now, and I will add it. I will show you a shot with the hood open. The one thing that is missing is the brake master cylinder. I need that. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll show you very quickly what the next one's going to be. And then I will give you some garage shots, and off we will go. So hope you liked the build of the 55. I did. This took about 3 or 4 months. I didn't work on it every day. I just had some real fun with it. And like I said, I'll take a couple shots of it in the shop, and I'll show you what we're working on next. So give me 2 seconds and I'll show you. So here we are. This is the next project on the bench. This is the Hot Trucks 1960 Chevy Custom Fleet Side. Again, another AMT Ertl kit. I'm going to be doing this basically as kind of a flat two-tone, almost military paint job. It's going to be a bit of a low-rider, and it's going to be a parts picker up for the shop. Like, this would be the truck that you would use to go down to Lordco or Pep Boys or whatever. So it is going to be a flat paint job. It is going to be lowered. I'm going to leave the 6 in it. I'm not going to jazz it up too much, but that's what this is going to be, and that's what's coming up next. So keep your peepers open for this build. I'll start this build very quickly, and please enjoy the parting shots of the garage scene with the 55. maybe one or two other cars that I've got. So leave a comment, let me know if you enjoyed this series. I intend to do more of these for the car guys on my channel. I am a figure and comic and statue collector, but I am a big model car hot rod freak. So let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the build. We'll catch you all later. Area 51 Speed Shop. See you later. Bye-bye.